Okay, we finished activity -2.0 and 000, and we finished doing the little intro. Now we're in the main content, the actual main content. Okay, theory, page 19. Where are we? The prompt. Oh, what have we got on our screen? So we go to our VM player, our Windows 10 virtual machine, and I've already started Kilo Linux. After installing it, where is Kilo Linux? On our desktop, there it is, Kilo Linux. Pin to start, and then it puts an icon, and there you go. And just click that, and it should open up to something like this. Okay, some theory before we start practical. The prompt. When you first log into a non-graphical user interface, you are presented with a prompt or CLI, command line interface. What is the command prompt? In Windows operating system, the command prompt is a program that emulates the input field in a text-based user interface screen with the Windows graphical user interface and a command line interpreter to the operating system. It can be used to execute entered commands and perform advanced administrative functions. The prompt will tell you a few things when you log in. Activity 0.1, how to start the Windows 10 DOS command line interface. Like before, shown in some of the previous Windows, to start it, press the Windows key on the keyboard plus the R key. So the Windows key, press the Windows key and the letter R, and what have we got? Command line prompt, CMD, and press enter on the keyboard. Now this is the Windows 10 one, and this is the Linux, or Kilo Linux one. The Windows 10 DOS command line prompt will tell you the operating system version, current user logged in, and full path or the location of the folder you are in. So it tells you the version number, and in this case the user, and we're in C drive, users, demo 1. So we're actually demo 1 user here in Windows 10. So C drive, full path, and username is demo 1. And just to check that we're in demo 1, you can go task manager, more details, and we go users, and there you go, demo 1. And demo 1 has all these applications running. So C drive is a drive, users is all the users in the current system, and what user are we logged in as? We're logged in as demo 1. Activity 0.2, how to start Kali Linux in Windows Unix subsystem. So press the Windows key, press the letter R on the keyboard and type Kali. So if we want a new Kali Linux window within Windows 10, you can go Windows R, Kali, OK, and there you go. There's a new Kali Linux command line interface terminal. We might just go exit out of that one and use this one. And that tells us the username, the computer name, and current working directory. But if we want to know the path of where we are, you can type pwd, which is current or parent working directory. And there we go, home demo 1. And in Windows, we got C drive, users, demo 1. But we don't have any other users at the moment in Kali Linux. Okay, so that completes activity 0.2. And there's a little screenshot there. The Kali Linux command prompt will tell you current user logged in and the host name, which is the computer name. And the Matilda sign, stands for your home directory. How do you issue commands to the operating system? A command is comprised of the command followed by the options or parameters. Then, or it's arguments that you pass through or to the command. Some examples of some basic commands to the operating systems are mkdir, which is make a directory, ls, which lists all the files and folders. You have ls -all, list all files and folders that are hidden in long format listing, and ls -help, the more sign, and then the word more. And that tells us how to use the ls command. So we just have a look at the commands now. So what I went through was mkdir. So let's just type mkdir. What does it tell us? Nothing. Missing operand. Try make dir 2 hyphens and help. So that will give us some help information. I'll just close the Windows 10 and stay on Kali Linux. So if I go mkdir 2 hyphens help, and that should bring up some help information. So we have the command, options, and parameters. You can say the directories are the parameters. Another command, so mkdir creates directories. Now to list a directory, we go ls, list. There's no directories. But if you go ls -l, which is long listing, there's none. What happens if we go ls -2 minuses, all? There you go. Or if we might go ls -l -a, and the -a is for hidden folders. And there you go. Hidden folders with a long listing. -l gives us a long list, so that's our long list. And -a is hidden. So dot in front of a folder name means hidden. So within, let's see, what's our current working directory? We use pwd, and I might just go ls -l space -a. So within the current directory of home demo 1, which is the username, we're logged in as demo 1. This is our home directory. Within that folder, in our directory listing, we have hidden files. and folders. The D means directory, and no D means a file. And then we have RWX, and then we have R-X, and then RX. So D stands for directory, or if there's no D, it's a file, or you might have some other letter, which is a special character. RWX is read, write, and execute. And those are the permissions that you have. And they're grouped in threes: RWX, RWX, and RWX. The first RWX is owner, and the owner is demo 1, and the owner of these two ... is root user. So the first RWX is the owner, and then the second RWX is the group, and RWX, the third one, is everyone. Everyone has read permissions. The group has read permissions, but the owner has read and write permissions. Okay, now ls. What do we have about ls? ls, and I want to find some more information. So I go 2 hyphens and then help to find some help information. And there you go. If I scroll up, there's a lot of information. ls, options and files. And ls minus a, or all. So this one is a short version, or you can go hyphen hyphen all, which means the same thing. So to list the directories, we just go -d. So we just might list the directories. So from an example, we should just have ... as our directories. So if we go ls -d, it just shows one folder. So if you press the up arrow key, brings up the previous history. So if you press the up and down arrow keys on the keyboard, it shows you our previous command lines that we have issued. So that was ls -- help. And that's too much to read. So what we're going to do is ls -- help, and then we're going to put a straight line in, or the more symbol. So if you hold down shift and a straight line, that's the more symbol, and that's actually called piping. Piping is like redirecting information, but that's called piping. And if we type more, we want more information, not scroll the entire contents. We just want a bit by bit, so we type more information each time. So more, more. There you go. It does it sort of like page by page. Now if I press enter on the keyboard, it's going to do one line at a time. Now if I go to spacebar, it's going to page by page. That's one page. So it fills up the screen page by page. And that's the end. It's about 3 pages long. We just do that again. So now you can read that. So you try it on your computer and type ls minus help, and then the more symbol, and type the word more. And then you can read all the different options and parameters. Now if I just say I want to keep this page section up, but I don't want to go down to see the rest of the page. So if I press Control, I think it's Z. No, Control C twice. No, that doesn't even work. Maybe Control X will actually break it. So we want to have a look at one of the commands that we issued before. That was ls -a. Which means hidden files, and then -l, which is long directory. But it says -a is do not ignore entries starting with dot, but the dot means hidden files. So -a means basically hidden files. So ls -a, and then I'm going to put -l because I want long listing. There you go. To get a list of commands to an operating system, sometimes you can simply use the most basic commands such as help. To get help, type help, or the command, then type help. So activity 0.3, how to get all the commands within the operating system, Kali Linux, on your Windows 10. So to get help, we just type help. And those are all the list of Kali Linux commands, which is a lot. So we might go ls pipe it more. So there you go. And we should see ls somewhere here. We have cd, change directory. cd, change directory. Kill a process. Might just press spacebar. Can't find ls. That's strange, I can't find ls. Oh well, but if you want to get help, so activity 0.4, how to get help about a particular command. So we already went through that. We did ls -- help to bring up the help command. Activity 0.5, piping commands. Activity 0.5 says view help information to fill screen and press the enter key to read the next line. This is known as piping, or combining other commands to a command. Which is ls or we can do help more. And if we want, so the more sign is piping, and another piping command is a redirection. So if we go ls help, and this time we put 2 greater than signs, that's a different pipe command. And if we type ls _help, so what's going to happen is we're piping what's displayed on the screen to a file. So ls -help is going to give us ls help information and pipe it to a file called ls help. So we'll do that. and nothing happens. So if we go ls minus l minus a, we should have a new file called lshelp. And there you go. We have lshelp. So we have a new file in our directory listing. So the two greater than signs means append the information to the end of the file. But if we had one greater than sign, it just means to pipe the information to the file. But if we put two pipes or two greater than signs, it means append the file. So that's another piping. So we learnt the more and the greater than sign. Two greater than signs, which means redirect the information somewhere. So that's two piping commands. Activity 0.6. How to get current path location in Kali Linux on your Windows 10 computer. Activity 0.6. Current working directory. So to get the current working directory, it's pwd. So that's our current working directory. But you don't see all the files and folders. You just see your current location of where you are. And activity 07, we kind of already did that. Okay. And then in our diagram, which should be on 21, activity 0.7, and then there's a picture. And in the diagram, it says ls minus l minus a, but the username is root. And it gives us an example of all the files outside of this username. So we're going to switch to the root user. So to switch to the root user, we go sudo su, which means the super user, which is the root user. So enter the password for demo1. And currently we're in the home demo. So pwd to get the current working directory. Now if we go cd slash, and if we go pwd, we're in the root user. So if we go ls minus l, minus l, ls minus l minus a. Oh, we're still in that username. cd slash. Okay, so to change to the root user, we go cd backslash, and if we type pwd to find out where we are, it says slash. So we're at the root folder of the operating system. So we want a directory listing of all the files of the root user. So we go ls minus l minus a. So we're in the root folder because it's got slash, it hasn't got the Matilda sign. And these are all the files and folders. So we got D is directory, L is a shortcut link to a location to the actual file on the hard disk. So bin actually points to user bin. And then we have R for read, W for write, and X for execute. And these are all the folders in the root of the hard disk, just like Windows Explorer. If we go to Windows Explorer in Windows 10, and we go this PC, and we go C drive, and there you go. Those are all the folders. But if you go to Windows, that's the main operating system of Windows. But we're in the root folder in Windows, is here. Okay. Activity 0.8, how to list hidden files in a folder in Kali Linux, which we already did, which is ls-l, or -a, sorry, ls-a, how to list hidden files. Let's see what that brings up, ls-a, or ls-a, -l, because we want long listing. There you go, there are our hidden files, or hidden folders. Activity 0.9, how to list file contents in a folder in long format. So we just type ls-l, which is that. How to list files in reverse order. How to list files in reverse order. So we go ls-r. We might do long listing. Oops. Long listing. So now it's in reverse order. How to list file contents in a folder. Or we can use ls. Or okay, that's the listing. Or we could use ls star. And that list, the star means a wildcard character, so we'll list all the files. How to list file contents in the folder. So activity 0.12, so ls space star. List all the files. So if we go long listing -l, so it does subfolders as well. And that's a lot of files. So ls star brings up a list of all the files, even subdirectories. So that's it for activity 0.12. Then you have TTTY, the file name of a terminal connection, and then it says CPC equals greater than 1.0, 1.1, next section. Move on to the next section. But we might just keep continuing and have a look at some of these examples. How to change to a different folder and create a folder. How to change to a different folder and create a folder. Activity 0.13. At the moment, actually we might switch back to our current user, which is demo 1. So if we type exit to exit out of the super user, demo 1 and ls minus L or PWD, where are we? We're in home demo 1. Okay, very good. And now activity 0.13, it shows a directory folder, apps, info, localhost, pwlist, and tools. To create a folder, as mentioned before, as an example of a command we can issue, is make directory. So to make a directory, go mkdir, make directory, and we might create a directory called apps, apps. Now, if we go ls-l, we have a folder called apps, and we want to create a folder called info. So mkdir info, info, and we want a folder called pwlist. So mkdir pwd underscore list, and we might create another folder. So we can put a space, and as long as it's one word, we can enter another folder name to create. So we can go TOOLS, tools. So that created 2 folders. So if we list, those are all the folders that we've created. Now we want to create a folder in the info folder called localhost. So to change into a directory, we want to go to info. So cd to change directory, and we want to go into info, info folder. And then the command prompt says Matilda sign /info. So that tells us we're in the info folder. But if we go pwd to get us our current working directory, so we're inside the info folder. Now we want to make a folder inside the info folder called localhost. So if we go mkdir, make directory, and we want to create a folder called localhost, and if we go ls-l, we have a folder called localhost. So we've completed activity 0.13. We moved into a folder called cd, change directory, and we'll do change directory again. Actually, we'll go cd localhost. So now we're in home demo 1 info localhost. So we go pwd current working directory. There you go. That's our path. So we're in home demo 1 info localhost. Now to change out of or get out of localhost, we go cd ... And now we get our current working directory. We're not in localhost anymore. Now let's just say we want to go home demo. So we go cd /home/demo 1. So that will take us out of the info folder and take us straight to home demo 1. Now if I do pwd, there you go, I'm in home demo 1. So you can go cd ... which means go back 1 folder, or you can actually type the full path of where you would like to go. which is cd change directory. And just a reminder, to make a directory, it's mkdir and the name of the directory you want to create. And in our trainer's guide, there's some information on how to edit a file and a question mark. We can edit a file using Vim or Nano. What's Nano? It's a sort of like a text editor. So we might type, let's try this out. Do we have Nano installed? N-A-N-O. Actually, let's get a direct, what's in our folder? ls minus l minus a. So the blue one is our folders and our white one is actually a file. So we have a file called lshelp. So we might type nano lshelp. Let's see what that happens. So nano is a editor, a file editor. So we type nano ls underscore help. So now we're in a program called Nano. So GNU Nano version 5.4 and the file name is lshelp. You can't use the mouse, but you can only use the arrow keys. There you go. You can use the arrow keys to move around. So we're in a program called Nano for basic text editing. So if I scroll down all the way to the bottom, I can press enter, create new lines, and type maybe hello world. And at the bottom here, you have Control X to exit. So Control X, save modified buffer. Modified buffer is basically, do you want to save the file? And press Y for yes. And do you want to overwrite the file? So overwriting the file is actually like saving. So we press enter, we want to save the file. And now we have just used Nano, a text editor, to edit the lshelp file. Or you can type nano and it will start a new blank page. So Control X to exit. How to change a user's password. Change a user password, we use PASSWD. Changing password for demo 1. Current password is whatever you set it to be. And now the new password. And enter it twice. New password. Retype password. I think it's because I was using the same password as the password. But that's how you can change your password. So the command to change password is PASSWD, password. And PWD is current working directory. PWD is current working directory. How do we get the current version of Kali Linux you are running on Windows 10 computer? We can type CAT, which is cat or capture, catenate, /etc. So etc is in the root, or slash is in the root folder, and in the root folder there's a folder called etc, and then slash, and then within the etc there's a file called os release. So os release, and it should display the contents to the screen, and that's what cat will do. So if I press enter, and there you go, it's displayed some information by using cat, and the contents of the file in os release in the root folder of etc. It tells you the current version, Kali Linux rolling. The name of it is Kali Linux, ID Kali version 2021. Kali roaring, ID like as a type of Debian operating system. Home URL is kali.org, support, and bug report. So that's how we can get the current version of our Linux we're running. Or you can use uname. Uname. It's a Linux. Or you can go uname -r. It's actually Kali Linux subsystem. That's why it says Microsoft. Or we can go uname -a. Linux desktop. So desktop is the current computer name. Microsoft on Monday such and such with Linux. So if you see that, that's Kali Linux using Linux subsystem within Windows 10. That's why it says Microsoft. How to find help in your operating system. We already did that. To create a file, you use touch. We'll skip that. How to hide a file or folder. Skip that. How to display what packages are installed in the operating system. We use apt. So apt usage, apt is a command line package manager and provides commands for searching and managing, as well as querying information about packages. Packages is basically software. It provides the same functionality as specified by apt tools like apt-get, apt-cache, but enables options more suitable for interactive use by default. So we might go apt search tree, apt hyphen, 2 hyphens, search tree. There's no such thing a file as tree. Now if you get an error like that, we might need to type sudo. We need to be the super user. Instead of going to switch user, SU, we might go sudo, which means the root user, the super user, sudo apt search tree, and enter the password. No such combination. Maybe it's just 1 hyphen. Let's try apt help. Apt hyphen help. apt search make directory mkdir. Search, no such thing. apt list installed, and that should give us list all the different commands. So we have a program called tar, and it's from Kelly Rowling, version number 1.3, and it's using AMD, and it says it's installed. And you have all the list of commands. Add user, apt utils. So those are all different packages that are installed. Not commands, actually. So it has a list of packages. It already has wget. Okay. I think that will do it. And there's no practical thing. We already went through the practical. Summary. So to summarize, what is the command prompt? In Windows operating system, command prompt is a program that emulates the input field in a text-based user interface screen with Windows Graphical User Interface, or GUI, a command line input interpreter to operating system. It can be used to execute entered commands and perform advanced administrative functions. Okay, that will do for now, and then we'll actually go into some of the course material. So we'll leave it there for now. So we've gone through some basic commands. ls, list directory, mkdir, make directory, change directory is cd, but we'll go through more of the other commands as we go through. So that'll do for now. So I'll stop recording, and when we come back later, we'll actually do 1.0, identify operating system and hardware components.